Greetings and welcome back to the Story of Man podcast. My name is André O Ferguson. It is a blessing and a privilege to have you here today. As you all know or should be aware by now, I am passionate and I truly believe that my mission is to help men learn how to choose love so they can transform their relationship. And there's a reason for this. 90% of the problems we face in today's society come from children that are produced from fatherless homes. And it is imperative that us as men learn how to choose love so we can have more productive, more successful relationships, so we can stay at home and we can support our wives and the mothers of our children and help them to produce and to raise more rounded and well-functioning young people so that they can go out and be the best of themselves and so that we can have a more prosperous and more productive society. So I choose to attack that problem by teaching men how to choose love so that they can transform their relationship. Today, I want to simply talk to you about responsibility and commitment. And responsibility and commitment in terms of the roles that men are supposed to play. And no matter what the situation is within your relationship, you have responsibilities. And your responsibilities have a major impact on the people that you are responsible for. So if you take care of those responsibilities, it has a massive effect. And if you don't, consequently, it also has a massive effect. So stick with me. I'm going to break this down in a minute. So, because of the rapidly declining moral standards that we face in our society today, it is imperative that men still remember and recognize that they are still responsible for their families. We are still responsible to take care of our wives or partners, and we're definitely responsible to lead and to teach, to mentor, and to take care of our children. No matter what the situation is, those responsibilities never change. And, if we don't take care of those responsibilities, the consequences are absolutely devastating. Your children are going to grow up disrespectful, disobedient. Somebody's going to teach them something. So it is imperative that you're the one teaching them the right things, giving them the right moral standards. If you have a son, you need to teach that son how to be a gentleman, how to take care of a woman, how to lead, how to provide, how to protect, how to nurture. How to nurture and cultivate the love within their relationship, how to lead in that respect as well. Also, how to learn how to allow their partners to lead if that is what is necessary within their relationship. If they have a wife or a partner who is able and capable and wants to lead, it is important that that doesn't affect your ego. And as a father, as a responsible father, your job is to teach your son how to do that. If you have daughters, like I do have both sons and daughters, then it is imperative that you teach your children, your daughters, their own value. Teach them how to respect and honor themselves so that whatever relationship they get into, they don't take anything less than what they deserve. It is important that you love your partner, your wife properly, so that your daughters can see what love looks like or what it should look like to them. Too many young women nowadays are settling for things that are way below what they should be settling for out here in society because they don't know any different. And this goes all the way back to the responsibility that a father plays within the home in terms of loving his wife so that his daughter can look on and say, my daddy does this, my daddy did that, and this is how I saw my daddy treat my mother, or whatever, or vice versa, so that they can know and understand and learn that this is how this is the standard. Your daughter is the first person that you are the first person that your daughter is supposed to fall in love with as a man, because she's supposed to learn from you what a real man or real manhood is and what a real man does for his woman. So it is imperative that you stay at home. It is imperative that you take care of your responsibilities. And in certain situations, because of the society that we live in and the world we live in, it is not possible for you to stay at home, but your responsibilities don't change. You're still responsible for taking care of your children. You're still responsible for leading them, for teaching them, for counseling them, for guiding them, for mentoring them. I'm not talking about finances, because a lot of us, especially in the cultures that I grew up in, is provide the money and your job is done. And it is definitely not the case. Your responsibilities are vast. You're supposed to be the counselor, you're supposed to be the mentor, you're supposed to be the leader, the teacher, all of those things. Not saying that mom can't can't do those things, but your job, children look at their fathers completely different to how they look at their mothers, and that's just a fact. And we all just need to accept that and recognize that. You know, the man's responsibilities are different to the woman's responsibilities. They both have major responsibilities, and they both play major different roles. And it is important that we understand our roles as men, and we understand your partner's role as your partner, as your wife, so that you can support her in her role. You know, what is happening in society is that, you know, a lot of us as men, we've forgotten our roles. We're not playing our roles, so our wives or partners have no response, or have no choice but to take on a lot of those responsibilities, because, you know, women in general take responsibility more seriously than a lot of us men do, unfortunately, in certain situations. And they just feel like, you know what, you're not going to do it, so I have to do it. And what happens then is that she gets stressed out. You know what I mean? She gets stressed out. She gets annoyed. She gets frustrated at you. She starts withdrawing her love and her compassion from you because she feels like you're not pulling your weight properly. And, you know, as a consequence, you start doing the exact same. So you start not feeling loved and respected in your own home, and you start pulling your love away. And then the communication breaks down, if there's any communication left at all. You know, so the importance of proper responsibility and proper communication within your relationship is key. If you don't do your job, she's gonna feel like she has to take on certain roles that, you know, is unfair for her to take on, you know, and as a result, she's gonna start treating you differently or withholding certain things from you. And you're gonna do the same, because you're gonna feel like she's not helping me, she's not supporting me, she's not, you know what I mean, taking care of me the way I'm supposed to be taken care of. And all of that is just a consequence of forgetting that, you know, you're responsible, and you should be responsible. And the responsibility comes in many forms, as I said before. So take the time out to understand your responsibility within your relationship. Take the time out to understand that you're responsible for your children. Very, very, very important. Take the time out to understand that your wife, your partner, is your backbone, and you need to treat her as such. You're fully responsible for her emotional, mental, spiritual, physical well-being, and that translates down to your children. So it's your job to counsel, it's your job to lead, it's your job to provide, it's your job to do all of these things, and to make sure that those people feel that, not in a kind of misogynistic way, kind of top down, you know, I do this, I do that, so you should do this. No, you're supposed to take care of her from right beside you, so that she can feel your love all the time. And your love is what is the fuel, is the gas in the tank of the car. It doesn't matter how much money you make or bring into the house. If you're not putting any emotional energy into your relationship, that's the fuel that keeps the fire burning. And if you don't go to the gas tank, if you don't go to the petrol station every now and then and top that up, then your relationship is going to fall apart, because the responsibility lies within you, not just you. Let's just be clear, men, it's not just you. Women, you have a responsibility as well to go to the petrol station and definitely top up your husband's gas tank. But, you know, today I'm talking specifically about the responsibility of us as men, in terms of what we need to do to make sure that the vehicle that is our relationship, the car, is topped up on fuel based on the emotional, spiritual, mental, physical energies that we need to put in our relationship. And the fact that those things are our responsibility. And that does not negate the fact that your wife or your partner has exactly the same responsibility in terms of providing for you emotionally as well. So, but if you don't take care of your job, it's going to be difficult for her to take care of her job, because she's going to feel like, you know, yes, I probably need to do all of these things, but all of these things need to get done. And then she's putting her energy into taking care of the things that you kind of have dropped the ball on. And then she's one, not going to have the energy to do it for you. Two, she's not going to feel like doing it for you. And three, it's just antagonistic, and it's just a toxic situation that we've created if we don't each take care of our responsibilities within the relationship. So that's what I want to say about responsibility. The responsibility of a man is vast and important. You are responsible for your family's mental, spiritual, emotional, physical well-being, and it is your job to make sure that you understand each person within your family unit, how those things translate in practical terms for them. How do you provide for your wife mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally? What are her needs specifically? Because they're different to the needs of your children. You can't just blanket everything and say, okay, I've provided emotionally for everybody in the house. Everybody is different. Everybody's emotional needs are completely different. and all the other needs as well. All of those needs are completely different, and your responsibility is to make sure you understand that you are responsible to provide those needs, and more than that, you're responsible to understand the different nuances between the people within your family unit, and understand that unless you provide that fuel, which are all of those things, to the vehicle of your relationship, if you don't go to the petrol station and top up those things, then your wife is going to struggle, your partner is going to struggle to give you what you need. And we as men, we need a lot. We need to be gassed up. We need that motivation, that inspiration to go out and do our thing every day. We definitely need that. But it's a two-way street, brothers. If you don't give it, it's going to be difficult for you to request it. And it's going to be difficult for her to provide it without being requested of her to provide it, because she needs that energy as well. So take care of your responsibility. Take care of your missus. Take care of your children. Most definitely take care of your children, because, you know, it's tough out here, and we know, we can see it every day. Society is breaking down morally, and we need to make sure that we are providing that moral foundation, that moral leadership, that moral guidance to our young people every day in any way you can. As I said, you don't necessarily have to be living in the home, because like myself, a lot of us have broken relationships, and our children live outside of our actual family home. It doesn't change anything. I have Bible study with my girls every Sabbath morning. You know what I mean? I talk to them almost every day, and my son as well, you know, and we talk about specific things, you know, your plans, what are you doing? And I take the information that they want to give to me about their day, their struggles, what they're going through, how I can help and support in that way. I date my daughters, I take them out on proper dates, you know what I mean, and spend that time with them and just link and chat and reason. Sometimes it's teaching, sometimes it's just listening, sometimes it's counseling, sometimes it's leading, sometimes it's just sitting and being still. As long as they know you're there, as long as they know that you have their back, then that's what's important. Your job, your responsibility is to make sure that they know that no matter what comes, hell or high water, daddy's always going to be there. You know what I mean? And that goes for daddy, that goes for your children and your missus. You are the foundation that you are the foundation that they need to build everything that they want to become on. You know what I mean? We do the dirty work. Don't forget that. You know what I mean? A lot of women have to end up being doing this dirty work that is our responsibility, and it's not fair on them, because they're supposed to be nurturing and doing all of that other stuff. I'm not that type of guy to think that a woman's place is here, a woman's place is there. I don't believe that at all. I think that we both have responsibilities and we both have roles to play. I am specifically about my brothers because our role is vast and very, very key to the well-being of our children or family, to the well-being of society on a whole. So take your responsibilities, and I'm going to go into commitment next. Love and respect. So let's talk about commitment. And as a real man, as a real man of your home, as a real man within yourself, you have a commitment, and you're supposed to be committed to doing three things, right? You're supposed to be committed to provide for your family, to protect your family from anything destructive, providing for your family in the key areas I spoke about earlier in terms of your responsibility. So providing for your family is not just about money, brothers. It's about mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. You're supposed to protect your family from anything destructive. That's number 2. So provide and protect. You're supposed to protect your family from anything destructive. You know what I mean? In America, they say protect. We're here to protect our nation from any terror, foreign or domestic. Your job is to protect your family from anything destructive, whether it be physical, spiritual, mental, in any way, shape or form. Your job is to protect your family all the time. So you're supposed to make sure that they're safe. You're supposed to make sure you teach them how to keep themselves safe. I teach my wife simple martial arts things, that she can do something and run away if she can't necessarily fight somebody bigger and stronger than her, but she can definitely land a blow, or, you know what I mean, disarm somebody and cut and scream and cry. Those things are necessary. I teach my daughters how to box. I teach my son how to box. You know what I mean? Those are just simple things that you can do. It also builds confidence within themselves, that they can protect themselves in certain situations, but also understand that the first rule of self-defense is to avoid problems to begin with. So all of those things are your responsibility. Provide for your family, protect your family from all illnesses, from anything that might necessarily harm them or cause them any harm whatsoever. That means if you have destructive or toxic people within your family unit, within your friend group, you're supposed to protect your family from them as well. You know what I mean? That is your job. You can't just bring your family, your wife or your children into a situation where people are toxic. You know they're toxic, and you just go, oh, because they're family, I'm going to bring them there anyway. Your job is to protect them from that stuff, because what happens when they then take on all of that negative, toxic energy, and they end up getting hurt, and then you have to try and fix them from that? No, your job is prevention, risk assess, all of them things before you put your family into any situation that might cause them harm. Protect your family. You know what I mean? And the next thing is to lead your family. You're supposed to lead them in the right and proper path, in the way that will elevate them. You're supposed to create the right environment for them so that they can see clearly where they're going. You're also supposed to point them in the right direction. You're supposed to carry them all the time. You're supposed to allow them to learn. But that means leadership is about sometimes clearing the path. Leadership is sometimes going from the back to protect them from anything that's coming. That way, leadership is sometimes being in the middle so that you can navigate what's going on from right within the situation. So leadership is many things, and it is important that you also allow them to lead as well. Like I allow my daughters to lead. When it's their time, I say, okay, and I sit back and I let them do it. My wife, exactly. My wife is a leader as well, you know what I mean? And I'm happy to watch them things and to learn from them as well. That's all a part of leadership. As long as they know they can trust you because you're not going to steer them wrong, they'll end up doing the right things, and they'll end up having a happy, successful, and fruitful life. So this is my tips for you today. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. I hope it was beneficial to you. Please share it with somebody that you think it might benefit. Again, we mean to cause no offense on here. We're not here for clout. We're here to educate each other. I can learn from you. So please leave your thoughts in the comments. Please let me know what you think about responsibility and about commitment. Please let me know if there's anything you have that you think might be beneficial that we can share on here and that we can help to help others with as well. Remember, the story of man, nation, or the story of man, or me, André Ferguson, the things I create are about men. They're about helping us as men grow as better men, to become better for the people that we are supposed to take care of, the people that we are responsible for. We can't do it by ourselves, so we need you as well. You know what I mean? So please, if you're in a situation where somebody that you love and care about needs support, support them. Support them in any way you can. You know what I mean? Help them to help themselves. And if we all do our bit, then I guarantee you we can all get to a better place and we can all make a massive difference. As I said, I believe, and I truly, truly believe this, that my calling, my responsibility, my job on this earth is to help men learn how to choose love so that they can transform their relationships. I mean, I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, and he said if we just learned how to communicate better, a lot of the things that we call problems would just disappear. And that's what I'm talking about. So my job is to help men learn how to transform their relationships so that they can make better choices and so that they can be happier and we can make the people around us happier. I hope you enjoyed this again. Thank you again so much for taking the time out to listen. Again, please share, like, subscribe to this channel. And again, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts, please. I am not, you know what I mean, as creative as a lot of people on here, but I definitely think I have a message to share. And I hope you think so too. So until next time, walk good, pan of gravel. Enough love and enough respect. And remember, write your own story.